So let me. I want to address this because I agree on the you're better off not being as promiscuous. I understand what you guys are saying though, and I think I'm curious. It sounds like you guys are saying, hey, this is the way the world is. You have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
And your view is more like, no, we should not be engaging in these things. But let me show you this graphic from the Washington Post. This is an article that has been around for some time. Young men driving the decline in sex. Share of men and women between the ages of 18 and 30 reporting no sex in the past. 28% of men, 18% of women. And that skyrockets, that deviation really comes into effect around 2009, 2010. I think the internet plays a big role in this.
Huge.
But first, there's something to be said about this. Men and women have to have sex with each other for the most part. If men are not having sex at all and women are having sex, obviously there's a point to be made about maybe the women are having sex with each other or something like that. But I don't think that's a large component of what we're seeing here. I think the issue is the women mostly are still having sex at comparable levels to what they've always done. Men not having sex is skyrocketing. That says that these women, they're having sex with a particular group of men and
boom.
Here's what I think. I think a portion of men are being slowly removed from the dating pool.
Yep.
Women are maintaining the amount of sex they've always had.
Yep.
That's an interesting social dynamic.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
And that plays a huge role. I'm really glad you brought this up because that plays a huge role as to what women think they deserve. So unfortunately, a woman that's average looking to maybe a little above average looking has the same sexual marketplace value and pull as a guy that's damn near a celebrity. Why? Because of the advent of the internet, Instagram, etc. An average girl can hang out with extraordinary men. That plays a huge role in their psyche of what they think they deserve and the type of man that they think they're capable of attracting. But what they make the mistake of doing is they think just because I can attract this guy doesn't necessarily mean they can retain that guy. But that plays a huge role because girls think they deserve best. If you ask an average woman, what do you want? She's going to describe to you an exceptional man. And that's been heightened even more so thanks to feminism. Women earn their own money. They have their own status. They have their own cars. They have their own ability to provision for themselves. So since they're able to get all these things themselves, they no longer need a dutiful, responsible, leadership-driven man because they're like, yo, I just want the hot guy now. I can provision for myself. Let me ask you this, right? If you had a hot girl that was with you at all times, that would give you fellatio, she was hot, she would give you sex whenever you want, etc., would you seriously go out there on dates with women that you didn't like that or tolerate the BS? No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you. But that's how women are with their jobs and their money. Women effectively have their own provisioning, so they don't need to deal with the majority of men. So therefore, they only want to deal with the top 10 men, the top 10, top 20% of men. This is why so many guys are out of the sexual marketplace. It's the same situation as if you had a bad chick with you at all times. You would not tolerate female BS. You wouldn't. That's how women feel about their jobs.
So, and to add to this point as well, with the advent of social media, if you look at Instagram per se, I would say that's the biggest dating app in the world because in the back pocket of Instagram, DMs, women have access to, I want to say, a plethora of guys at their fingertips. So it's like, okay, if he's not give me what I want, if he's not a high value leader, why do I want this guy? And most guys are not that.
And a lot of guys that might share your values, which I agree with 1,000%, will get overlooked because, oh, you're not attractive enough for me. Oh, you don't have enough clout for me, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of guys that are traditionally masculine, attractive guys, right, that might have been attractive 50, 60 years ago, they're overlooked because women want the bigger, better deal. And they're like, I don't care that you have these traits because I can do it myself. So since they're doing that, it's done is it's deregulated the sexual marketplace. It's deregulated the dating marketplace. Trust me, I wish we could go back to traditional families to like the 1950s. I talk about this extensively, how the sexual marketplace has been ruined and we need to go back to how it was, but it never will. And so what we tell guys is, look, you got to adapt to the new normal. Now, with that said, I get what you're saying. Promiscuity affects both genders negatively. Yes, it does. Men to not to the same extent as women. However, guys need to go out there and get that experience and deal with these new women that are more promiscuous than ever before because the women are absolutely hooking up with guys.
It is so bad that we have guys leaving America called passport bros to go abroad to find girls. If it wasn't that bad, they'd be here getting sex. But it's really that bad.
I'll say one more thing. I get it. I'm not saying our solution is the best. There's negatives and pluses with everything. Yeah. There's always a give and take, right? But what I want is I prefer guys to get their money on point, have sexual experience with women, become that guy, adhere to these traits, and then choose down the road, you know what, I'm ready for a family now. I'm in a position where I can do it. I have enough money. I have enough status. I understand female nature. I'm in a position where my woman will respect me and follow my leadership, and then they can make that decision versus feeling pressured to do it in a new normal that isn't set up for them to win. So yes, there's negatives on both sides, but I'd rather the guy make that decision himself versus getting into a marriage and potentially losing everything.
But then wouldn't the solution be to be a passport bro? Well, a
lot of guys are taking that route.
Let me clarify though. I don't actually know what the full term means. I've only just heard it for the first time.
Yeah.
But my assumption is there are guys who want a traditional, normal relationship, and they have to leave the country to find it. Is that what it means?
So
that's a component.
A lot of guys are struggling, as you can see from this graph here as well. And it's not by choice. They have to, because most girls don't want that type of guy. So they say, you know what? I have a solution to the problem. I'm going to leave America, where women are more stuck up, more like demanding. Go to Colombia, Philippines, anywhere else in the world that's more traditional. And okay, cool. Now I'm an American. My value is perceived a bit higher than most people here. So I'm the chosen one now. So now the options have changed because as an American, you become the hierarchy there. So for the most part, guys want access to women, but if they can't get it here, they'll go abroad.
So then I wouldn't say passport bro is a solution. My initial assumption is you can go to a country like Colombia where there's traditional values, but it sounds like what you're saying is it actually increases the perceived value as an American. So guys are going to go be promiscuous.
But there's a multitude of reasons why guys go, right? Yeah. Some guys go there to just hook up. Some guys go there to find a girlfriend. Some guys go there because the cost of living is lower. There's a multitude of different reasons. But the bottom line, it seems like the common denominator here is that women in the West in general typically are less marriageable than they were 50, 60 years ago.